this tiny northeastern country in Africa by the name of Malawi has gone ahead and destroyed some 50,000 precious vials of the AstraZeneca vaccine that had been imported from India, and this was under the COVAX program of the United Nations. The reason that the government in Malawi has gone ahead and destroyed these vaccines because the United Nations as well as the World Health Organization, they all have come out criticizing the move of the health ministry of the country. Let's discuss this in greater detail with the doctors that are joining me on the broadcast, and also understand the larger implications with regards to the diplomatic ties that may get hindered hereby by the action that has been taken. And Dr. Mohsin Wali joins me on the broadcast. And Dr. Mohsin Wali,
yes.
What is the expiry date of an AstraZeneca vaccine? How is that an indication to go ahead and then completely destroy the vaccines? Does that make sense? And these are precious vials, keeping in mind that the entire world is especially facing a shortage.
Yes, it's shocking. It's shocking when we are needing these doses and queuing up, and lots of patients and lots of people who are going for vaccination, and they have to face problems. And there is one small country in the world which probably has surplus, and also I would say dares to destroy this in an incinerator, as was called, and in presence of the highest officials of the country. And they were burnt. They were without taking permission. You see, in such things, it will make an international issue, obviously must be known to them. And they should have a correspondence at least that tell us the disposal, we have this much surplus. There is as such, I think it should be 6 months minimum. And the WHO says there is an official version in the same note. I have read that they could have been used. So it depends on how do you store, how do you transport, how do you maintain cold chain, which is not a difficult factor. And you see, in our country also this issue rose, and I was surprised to find that incidence of vaccine wastage in the Bihar was low as against the national average, and highest was in Telangana, and that is 17.6. So this is something amazing, and I have not come across throughout my career that such a treatment has been given to a vaccine which is highly required and highly very important to be used, and it is very peculiar to hear. And this is not a small quantity, as you said. Quantities
for the coronavirus 19 vaccine, because what the WHO officials have gone ahead and said is that these vaccines were good to go, they could be utilized, and there was no point in burning them or incarcerating them, even though they had crossed their expiry date. Then the question arises, why an expiration date that has been mentioned on the vaccine? And if the state government of Malawi has gone ahead and done it, the reason it is given to the citizens and to the international bodies is that this was to instill the confidence of the citizens. Because if a vaccine or a medical treatment or a medicine passes its expiration date, which means it is of futility, and administering it to an individual could be fatal.
Exactly, but you know, expiry date is always fixed, keeping in margins some months. They could have checked. You see, this is very important issue. You see, I am not a vaccine scientist. In fact, none of us is. But the problem is that expiry date is not exactly at which the efficiency of the vaccine will go zero. This is what I can say for sure. Number two, this is first case of this type that vaccines were incinerated. Number three, it's a precious commodity. And number four, at least some correspondence should have been done. And as you are checking today, sitting in this program, this question must have been raised earlier. that what is the range out of which we can use this, because on vitamins and other things we put an expiry date, but they can be consumed, they don't become poison next day. So similarly, the immunity content, that the antigen, how long it will survive after that date which is put, and you see these dates are being put on observation. You see, this is a new thing throughout. In the literature, medical literature, we don't find expiration date for COVID vaccines this much. And for AstraZeneca, because they were doing research for a long time, they could have always kept a safe margin beyond the date. So this question is different. But this, I would treat that as an insult to a gift. I would go to say Excellency would justify it, what I'm saying. It's just something, gift is precious to a nation and we should respect that. And in case we are not able to utilize, or we have a surplus and expired as it is told, I would say it is told that they were expired, so and they were incinerated, some written correspondence should have been done. This is what is my take.
Ambassador Suresh Goyal joins me, and let's try to figure out this conundrum, Ambassador, because vaccines had the expiry date. In a bid to instill the confidence amongst the citizens of Malawi, the government has gone ahead and incinerated the vaccines. The World Health Organization has reprimanded the state officials over there, saying that the vaccines could have been utilized well after their expiration date. How do we resolve this issue, keeping in mind? Then don't mention the vaccination expiration dates. Like, how do we work this around?
Amir, thank you very much. I am not, Dr. Wali at least he knows that how the expiration dates work in the case of different medicines. I'm not a doctor and therefore I can't comment on how that happens. But the fact is that yes, like every drug, vaccines particularly more importantly would require storage, very, very careful storage at certain temperatures for a certain few days, like, you know, they need to be maintained -18, etc., and all those things. Therefore, I cannot comment on whether they were usable or not usable. Only an expert can pronounce on those things after checking on the vaccines. For me, the question is much more fundamental. The question for me really is that when several countries are struggling for the supplies of vaccines to complete or to even start their own vaccination programs, and even in Africa, it's not just a question of India or other countries. Even in Africa, when other countries are struggling to kickstart their vaccine program, it seems highly ludicrous and irresponsible to supply so much vaccine to a country where they can't even use it and eventually have to burn it off. And I think that underlines one very fundamental issue. Pandemic is not just one country. Pandemic is a global problem. Vaccine, India will be manufacturing vaccine, India may need vaccine, USA may need vaccine, but one country having the pandemic does affect the other countries. So I think there has to be a proper coordination in terms of supplies to any country. We should tailor with how they're using it, what their vaccination program is. It makes no sense to me, 3 different sources supplying vaccines to Malawi without even knowing whether they have the storage capacity or not, what is their vaccination program. So I think it underlies a much more fundamental question, that at this time of pandemic, where vaccine is one of the most precious commodity, in actual value probably more precious than gold, because it saves people's lives, that we should be coming to a situation when one country actually burns them out because they have no use for it. Yes, of course.
Point raised by Ambassador Suresh Goyal. And Sanjay, I'll come to you over here. You know, the conundrum over here then, and finger pointing at the United Nations led COVAX program to go ahead and allocate the vaccines the way it has gone ahead and done, especially the likes of Africa, Latin America, where it's difficult to ensure proper storage, where it's difficult to also ensure if the vaccination drive is taking place as per the plan that has been rolled out. And Ambassador Goyal has very rightly put that it's more precious than gold or diamonds at this point of time, because it is saving lives. And when a country like India that has gone ahead and provided those 50,000 vials to this African nation, where we ourselves are falling short of the vaccines, and we would have very well utilized it and accommodated it in our own country. How should the COVAX program, the international COVAX program, roll out in a more economical fashion to ensure that pro rata allocation of vaccines takes place? There's no wastage, and capabilities of nations also need to be taken into account.
Thank you for inviting me, Megha, and it's a very interesting panel discussion in which, although I'm no vaccine expert, but like all of us who are going through this crisis, one ends up reading all kinds of stuff and also getting an opportunity to listen to Ambassador Goel and Dr. Saab, who's sitting there. I have a different take on this. I don't really agree with the kind of perspective that is driving the entire conversation. I don't think that Malawi is at wrong. Malawi was trying to tell WHO that your vaccination on the expiry date will not work with many societies. I'm sure Malawi has its group of medical advisors, they have doctors. You cannot think that Malawi is a country where nothing happens. So they may have their own reason, because you must remember that first the expiry date of Covaxin or Covishield was 30th of March. The next batch was sometime in April. And then, through a government order, Government of India, can I complete my thing? Then you can come. Then the Government of India, through a joint secretary, announces that, you can extend it by another 6 months. So there has been a lot of confusion about that. I'm sure WHO may have prompted the Government of India to suggest that AstraZeneca vaccine can go beyond 6 months. But the fact of the matter is that AstraZeneca has been mired in problems, not just in India, it's also in Europe, and the entire COVAX program, I think you need to give a disclaimer that it is not India which is doing charity. The COVAX had an agreement with India. India buys, COVAX buys vaccine from India. That is what is distributed, and that is how it is supposed to be done. So there's no real charity in that. So if Malawi thought that the vaccine may have expired, and they, the COVAX facility or put together by Gavi or whomsoever has actually gone about doing it, they may be a bit offended that they have got vaccines which are expired and they would want maybe another lot. Maybe they had their own reasons to do it. So I would be more circumspect before trashing Malawi. They wanted to send a message across that don't give us expired vaccines, whatever may be your justification. Probably they wanted to have Pfizer, or they may be wanting to have Moderna for that matter, because these are the BMW vaccines. They don't want to have Astra. So it's possible that this is the message they want to convey.
Okay, Dr. Bhargav also joins me, and I would like to, get into the technicalities of it. The expiration of the vaccine AstraZeneca.
So let's.
Are there different vaccines with different expiration dates? And obviously, I can understand. This is a fast-paced R&D that is taking place in the several past weeks and months and years, a year and a half gone by. So there might be guidelines and policy change with regards to the vaccines, as like we have seen with regards to what has happened from 8 weeks to 12 months duration in the two doses. Does that also apply to the expiration date of these vaccines as well, particularly AstraZeneca?
So I think, first of all, the first argument is nobody in this world can be left behind, because if one country left behind, it can be the potential source for spreading the virus across the world. One thing. That's why the COVAX program was initiated in America. African Task Force for procuring the vaccination has been formed so that the African nations can get the equitable distribution of vaccine. Second, instead of expiry date, let's call the shelf life of a vaccine, which in India itself, from 6 months, on 30th of March, it has been extended to 9 months. So you see that shelf life of a vaccine, even if it was you call it an expiry date or a shelf life which was coming to a near end, you can actually test the potency. And the argument comes from hemophilia factor 8, which keeps on coming to India, which are expired ones. And for donkey years, we have been doing surgery without having any complications and problems. Right now, the problem is even the potency drops down by 10%, which is sufficient enough to prevent the virus from spreading and mutating. So instead of just putting it to the fire, they could have gone through a scientific literature to understand whether their shelf life can be extended or not. Because in India, it has been extended for Covishield from 6 months to 9 months, which means the same product which was shelf life for 6 months has not been extended to 9 months. So it means the potency of the vaccine is applicable and still remains there. So it was, I would say, short-sightedness on part of Malawi, which has got 1.89 CR population. And of course, if you go and read onto an Africa Net, they are trying to buy more and more Johnson and Johnson vaccine, which I take a clue from Sanjay. Absolutely right. It's been marred with controversies about clotting and about the trials which has been done. So I think it was not needed for not. It was a short-sightedness on the part of the government. It could have negotiated better to understand the scientific literature, whether the shelf life can be extended or not in various countries or not. So I would say it is very, very important to understand that these could be quickly vaccinated and people can be saved. So like in Covishield, if the duration is expanded for 12 weeks, the potency increases to 80% rather than less than 6 months, which is 55%. So Malawi should have taken the scientific literature into consideration.
Does that, like you've already gone ahead and criticized the government of Malawi, and does that give the leeway to the Malawi administration simply because they prefer a Johnson and Johnson or a Pfizer vis-a-vis an AstraZeneca, and 50,000 vials of vaccine that have been provided at their doorstep as per the COVAX program? It's sacrilegious what they've done. I mean,
I think it would be more prudent to have a scientific literature before putting it to fire. The scientific literature does talk about extending the shelf life. It does talk about decrease in potency, but not really potency going to zero, or there error which is occurring, or there's any side effects. I would say, in my opinion, if you see the literature, it would have been more prudent because those 50,000 people could have saved their lives.
Scientific literature awareness needs to be created, and the message needs to be spread. Dr. Vai, sacrilegious act by the Malawi government. How can we stop other nations and other states from going ahead and making the same mistake?
The vials, it's very difficult to prove, what they are burning. And I'm sure nowhere in other countries it will be repeated, because that has made a news. And you see, this is indiscriminate behavior with my product. See, this has come to surface. And as this is the first time we are hearing such a thing. See, and there is something behind it, some provocation. Either they want to have some other vaccine, or they could not store a particular batch of vaccines. This is what sounds to me very logical, that there would have been a problem in storing the vaccines, or they were not properly transported, so they were destroyed. And they choose the method of destruction so that tomorrow there will be no question in front of their ministers and important people. And Mr. Kanoda, Chiponda, and many other pharmacological giants were present. So this was an event. So how to make it an event and why to make it an event like this? I'm not able to understand. I'm very clear about it, that vaccines today, as Ambassador Goel said, they are priceless commodity. They should be respectfully stored, respectfully supervised. You remember there was an incidence of some vaccines were stolen from Haryana hospital, and the person left it at a tea stall. So they could.
And there have been so many instances.
They were not thrown away
in our country, and must have and similar parallel situations must have been witnessed in Europe, in United States, and several other parts of the entire world. So obviously due diligence needs to be made when it comes to handling of the vaccine, transportation of the vaccine, the logistics of it all.
I will add one point. that most of the Western countries, they have double the dose of what is their requirement. So ask them how they are storing their future requirement. They are storing. They have bought. America has bought the double of the requirement. Many other countries, including Europe, they have procured. They put the advance deposits in the month of April, May, June, and they gave orders, advance orders, and they are still having more than their requirement storage of the vaccine. So we should have a lesson from them. Ask them for what and for how long time they are storing, or there is a cycle of procuring new vaccines and utilizing the old vaccine. India doesn't have this problem. So if Malawi had a surplus dose of 19,610 vaccines, they were counted duly and destroyed, there would have been some other reason behind it. That's what I feel.
Okay.
Either they were...
But Dr. Wali, they have already utilized the 80% of the quota of 190,000 vaccines which were supplied to them. So it was not about the storage, it was not about anything, it was but just was symbolic evidence that they want something more. I mean, you have utilized 80% of your quota and still you have gone ahead and destroyed it. It means it was not about the storage. It has something to do other than to make a political score.
Yes.
I want to tell you a fact which is not coming out in this discussion. One fact which is not coming out in this discussion, Megha, is that WHO gave permission that the vaccines can be destroyed after expiry date. Initially, only last week they changed their, the whatever circular they may have passed, and they said that if countries have reservations about using them after expiry date, it can be destroyed. And that is when they did it. So we should not think that they did it out of some kind of vengeance or without application of mind, or they may have some game to play. The fact of the matter is that the expiry date was listed as April 13. They could utilize, as Dr. Bhargava was saying, 80% of the vaccines were utilized. Some were left, and then they sought permission to blow them up. So that is it. I mean, they had the courage of conviction to not use vaccines which had expired. Unlike many other countries which use, allow a bureaucratic fiat to decide whether
again, like I said, that the shelf life or the expiration date continues to change from 6 months to 9 months, and I don't know how far.
Another example I want to give you today.
May reduce, but then what is the point of reducing?
Just
running up those entire vials. And
WHO has lost its credibility,
And that simply is that in that case, if they had no use for the vaccines, those vaccines could have been returned to whoever gave them. If they came from COVAX, they can be sent to COVAX. Let them decide what they want to do with it. But to destroy them in this particular manner,
WHO gave them permission to do it.
And Sanjay, it is not only Malawi, even Sudan is planning Sudan is planning to destroy 60,000 plus doses of AstraZeneca.
I agree with
so we need to really understand the African Union from experts who are sitting there. What is actually provoking them to destroy the AstraZeneca vaccine? Is it scientific or more political or something else in a terms of a political game between Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer? So all these three things could have been a reason for Africa, because the next fight is on for the vaccine is Africa, and $1.3 billion profit for Pfizer has been there from the vaccine itself. So it is just merely what we see on the surface of the water, but there could be a deeper implications of what has been done now.
Ambassador, you want to make a comment on this, especially political game scoring? Is it with regards to the supply-demand chain and the commercial factor that is involved in this money-minting business of vaccines in wake of the pandemic?
I would be very, very reluctant and hesitant to speculate. There could be so many factors. But speculating particularly on actions of sovereign governments is not at all proper for me at this time. All I would say here is that if they didn't want the vaccine, if Sudan does not want the vaccine, let them return it to the supplier. Let them take a call on this. But to destroy the vaccine, even if it is WHO given the permission, let WHO, this COVAX is their program, let them take it back.
Okay.
But thank you.
Okay, all right. I'll have to wrap this up. Interesting set of developments. Malawi government going ahead and destroying those 50,000 vials of the AstraZeneca vaccine that had been gifted as per the COVAX protocol, had been exported from India into Malawi. Are there political implications? Remains to be seen. It needs to be investigated further. There are other African nations that continue to follow suit of Malawi, and while Africa is at the forefront with regards to the most underdeveloped nations of the entire world, its vaccination drive needs to be at an extremely breakneck speed to ensure there's equitable distribution of the vaccine. There are people who are safeguarded from this pandemic.